In the news this week, protesters in the nation's capital engage with security forces in a calm and mature manner.
Shoot me.
Sky-high passengers squabble over missing Shayo on their way to greet Baba London.
I will not take you, I will not have you selfie.
Nigerians watch on the sidelines as corruption fights back against body language. And now, it's the other news.
And here's your host, Okey Bakassi.
All right, welcome. You're welcome. It's the other news, the show that makes you laugh, think, and then laugh again. Fights, declarations, and who knows, maybe some music. These are just some of the things to expect on this show today. My guest today is a 4-time Grammy-nominated artist, son of a legendary musician, and a musical legend in his own right. Ladies and gentlemen, Femi Kuti in the building! Yeah. Also a very special and important report, so stick around. But as usual, it's the other news headlines. Ghanaian actress Moesha Bodong recently revealed to CNN's Amampor that she sleeps with married men to pay her rent. Wow.
How will I get money to pay for an apartment for 2 years?
Are you basically telling me that you're having sex with this guy essentially to pay your rent?
Well, the Association of Nigerian Married Men has reacted with shock, saying, Haba, is that how Ghanaian married men behave? And then they added in a whisper, don't mind them, Moesha. I just send your account number. National leader of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, stopped by to visit President Buhari in London on Sunday. Just like the good old day when the leader of Nigeria was the queen and the Nigerian politicians had to go there to visit and decide the fate of the country. Fond memories. All hail King Boo Boo. Yeah, sharing the same country as the queen right now. Anyway, according to the Nigerian police, the possession of pepper spray is now an offense because Nigerians are prohibited from carrying weapons in public. So if you're a lady, for all the ladies who carry pepper spray, here's some very, very friendly advice. Be sure to carry other soup ingredients in your handbag. So when the police nab you, you can say, officer, no be weapon, no. This is not seasoning. I won't go cook small pepper soup. Maybe that can get you off the hook. All right, to other matters now. It seems to me that nothing makes former leaders of Nigeria feel more insecure than an upcoming election in which they are not contesting. If not, why is it during election season that former heads of states start to draw their ears and open their mouths to complain as if the fact that they are not in charge is paining them in the chest? Our ex-leaders need to relax and know that after all that they have done to this country, we cannot forget them. Some have written letters, some have tweeted, and some have aired their views through their spokesmen, then allegedly changed their minds and spoken again. Yeah, we have noticed you. You can now stop shaking the leg of the table. Thank you.
You alluded to the issue of June 12. Do you still think about that? It's 25 years now.
When I read it, I think about it.
Oh, you don't think about your annulment of June 12 unless you read it? Well, many people have not forgotten. They cannot forget. In fact, General Bangida, please send me the address of that your expensive mansion so we can do something like this for you. So you can read and remember June 12 every single day. All right, please go on with the interview.
Do people still talk to you about that?
Not really.
People don't talk to you about June 12? You mean all the politicians who are always going on pilgrimage to your hilltop mansion just come and smile, bow, beg, take selfies with you and go without talking about the single most important thing that you did for? Or is it to us? Okay, how strange. The annulment of June 12 is the reason why Nigeria is where it is today. I will leave you to judge whether we are in a good or bad place. The annulment of June 12 made IBB step aside and brought a new leader, a gentleman called Ernest Shoneko. Ernest was so earnest that he gingerly avoided problem and stepped down for the military. Yes, the adjournment of June 12 gave us a military dictator called Abacha. It led to the imprisonment of MK Abiola. It caused riots, bomb blasts, and assassinations. It forced some of our patriots into exile. But I digress. So let us continue with the interview.
Yeah. He annulled June 12 and they dismissed whatever else it is that you're saying.
That's right. Yes. He cancelled the freest. And nobody gives me credit for conducting the freest.
Huh? Shebi? Oh, it's credit that you want? You want credit? Okay, no problem. We'll give you credit. Which network do you use? Come and take small credit. Even if not too, make you put.
We tried to rationalize why we had to do what we did.
Oh, you can rationalize the annulment. Okay. Well, I'm ready to listen. I have all day.
One day, the younger generations who will be coming up to read, they will say, okay, we have had the other side. Let's hear the other side.
You know what? Maybe IBB is right. The future generation might understand the story of June 12 better than those people who experienced it. And can we really blame IBB? Every leader who succeeded him has had the opportunity to right some of the wrongs of the past and chart a new future for all of us. But here we are.
Maybe we will then have a better society.
Amen, oh General. Amen. Amen. Well, no matter how much you dribble us, the truth is, just like the football Maradona, you still have lots of fans. And we wish you well. Yeah, my guest today has made impressive music, given trouble to governments, and impacted the lives of many. Join me in welcoming the legendary Femi Kuti. Welcome, sir. Welcome, bros. Whoa. We are so excited to have you here. The weight of expectation for you coming up as an artist,
yes,
knowing that your dad,
yes,
the legendary Fela Kuti,
yes,
the kind of big shoes, oversized shoes that he had left.
Yes.
How was that weight, please? I just want to understand how he felt.
Since you are feeling very funny, I'm taller than my father.
One, so you.
No, and my shoe size are much bigger than his.
So already from day one, we were already leading. That means from day one, we were leading on points.
Yes. But on a serious note, I didn't have a problem with this. I love my father. I mean, beyond words cannot describe the respect and adoration I had for my father. And so it wasn't, when people were saying feel his shoes, growing up I could never understand where they were coming from. Because I truly wanted to play music, and my problem was when, how. I never had the privilege to go to finish school or study music. So everything I have learned musically, self-taught. People don't believe this, but it's a fact.
Oh, interesting. Now we're going to touch on the musical aspect of it because you're a man of many parts, But 2019 is upon us,
yes,
and the political atmosphere is becoming a bit more charged.
You should not be surprised if the people are overcharged. The corruption has completely destroyed this country, and it's sad that young people don't have a future. And you cannot point to any sector in this country that is doing well. But then, you have to blame government for everything, because if government does not motivate its people, then government is to be blamed.
I can feel that. All right, we are not just talking to a musician here, we're also talking to an activist. So please don't even move. We are going to talk activism when we return. Welcome back to the other news. My conversation with the phenomenal Femi Kuti continues. Bros, yes, we were talking about activism. Yes. You discover that in recent time, activism in the music industry looks like it's kind of going down. Is it that people are tired of hearing about our problems, that musicians have decided to say, you know what, we're not going to talk about problems, let's just party? Because it looks to me that most of the music that we hear these days is talking about enjoying this life.
I think they're finding a way to make a living. And do you blame the musicians? What about people dancing to the music?
Okay.
I'm sure you two dance to it. For instance, may I ask
you're defending your constituency.
I'm not defending it. Yeah. Do you like the song Jaye Jaye?
That's a good song.
There are many good songs.
There are many good songs. Yeah.
If everybody was politically outspoken, probably we'll all be weeping and crying, and there will be so much violence, and we'll be overcharged. So if somebody sings about, let me give you an example. You know this song, I just called to say I love you.
Yes.
Many of us have used it to chase our girlfriends.
Yes, at one point.
Why Fela was singing No Light, Suffer for World. Stevie Wonder was singing, yes. I just called. Yes. And many of us, even despite we were living in poverty, we had no electricity, bad roads, education was already crumbling, we still use those words of Stevie Wonder.
Okay, now that you brought up Fela's Suffer for World, Amen, yes. Joy for Heaven, looking at his music and his message,
yes,
and looking at yours, is there any difference?
There is a big difference, but there is no difference as well.
Okay.
The difference is you have to look at the times my father was talking and why he was talking, how he started to talk.
I don't see any change between that time and now, though, in terms of the things that are happening.
You have to feel, why did he even start talking? He came from America, and he had read books on Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and he came with this big dream that, wow, he can make things happen. And he started to talk. And then he got his first police raid. Yeah. Then this made him now completely change. Where he was like more positive in his outlook, he now saw the negativity of government and police brutality, and then the burning of his house, the killing of his mother. So this now made him completely, should I say, wild or very angry. So you cannot now expect me to have his venom or anger. My anger will be completely different.
Will be famous venom.
Yes, it has to. I cannot. There is no way I can. The beatings he got, practically every single bone on his body was broken.
And you are probably avoiding that beating.
No, I'm not. How can I? No, you can't say that. First of all, at my age, when he took his mother's coffin to Dodan Barracks, I was there. I was there in the house several times. The police came beating. So I have taken my fair share. I cannot say it is as bad as his own. No, so you see, when people are talking, blah blah blah, they don't know my history. They don't even know. Young people talk about Fela. They don't even know him. They never saw him. They saw the latter period on TV of this man. I knew him before he was
fantastic.
I knew him from Ransom Kuti when we had no food on the table. Good. Before he became famous in 1970 with his hit track Jenkoku. So when people saw, I don't even.
In fact, you just preempted my next question because I was going to ask you.
You didn't even let me finish now.
Okay. I don't want to forget it.
Write it down now. See paper.
I don't want to forget it. Go ahead.
So before the first police raid, why he took me out of school. It took me. I was used as a tool of protest because then General Obasanjo put soldiers in school to flog students, and my father withdrew me out of school, though I was willing, a very willing participant, because I would have failed my exam. So I was, well, say, we are taking out a protest of other students. Yes, I'm ready to go. Yes, take me out of school. So, but my life has always been in this chaos of defending my father and all this. So when you don't know what I've been through, personally speaking, and you now start comparing, that person is completely naive.
Is there a part of him that we don't still know, that you were
probably
privileged?
Yes, he wasn't. But I don't think it's a secret. But he wasn't the conventional kind of father. Okay. Like for instance, if I use my life, he didn't want me to go to school at all. So growing up, our school fees was 10 naira tuition fee. Yeah. It took us weeks, months. They had to even sometimes call us out. That students that haven't paid their school fees, where are they? Femi Kuti.
For real?
For real. And he was a multi-millionaire this time.
Yeah.
And the school fees was 10 naira. But he was a multi-millionaire. So he did everything in his power to stop
and what would the reason
my
be?
education.
What would the reason be?
His reason was he wanted to prove to his brothers and his sister that one did not need education to be successful. Wow. So there was always this big fight. There was always this big fight between my mother, his brothers, and him. And for him not using me as the experimental tool to prove his point.
To push his ideology.
To push his ideology. So, because his father made sure he got the best.
Best education.
So they were saying, how do you want your child to be successful? You can read and write music. You are not even letting him read or write music. You don't want him to have an education. He's just growing up like, you could say, in quote, area boy on the streets. And by this time I was smoking. I was very, very troublesome young person. I was driving, for instance, a car at the age of 12, taking it to school.
Which was illegal.
Completely legal. So I mean, grown up, when I see my children that of that age, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Man, I was driving at this age. And my father was encouraging me. I would put 2 pillow, drive. I would take the Volvo to school, Range Rover to school. My friends would be hailing me in school, Baptist Academy. I would just drive into the compound. The police, they all knew me. Police were always chasing me. And I'm still trying to get into my father's mind to understand how he was even thinking that he was letting this small rat drive the car. Okay, and then when police stops me, you will now say, how can you stop my son? Start fighting. I miss about little me. Say,
okay. It's been amazing talking to you. We love you in this country. You are a man who in fact, we can't begin to name all your accomplishments. Multiple Grammy nominations.
Only 4.
It's multiple now. 4. You can't say only. How many other Nigerian musicians have 4 Grammy nominations?
Nobody.
You understand?
Yes, 4.
I think that's still a record, and you can't call that only. And in fact, you've been featured in a video game, Grand Theft Auto 4. So we can't even begin to name all your accomplishments. So I haven't been there, done that. Can you help us be that president? Is there any plan of...
The constitution will not even allow me.
Why?
Because I didn't go to school. So if they tell me...
You didn't go to school like this?
No.
We have elected people without certificates.
That's what I wanted to tell you. That's what I wanted. Except, you see, but with the person that they forged, or apparently we don't know whether he had or not. I don't, but we said it now. Well, they were saying it now.
Okay, yeah.
Me, they know my history, so they can prove that I didn't go to school. So they will now use the constitution to stop me. And 2, honestly speaking, it's a job that I honestly believe I don't want to do. I just want to be a musician. Do you understand? My passion to be on stage. My father never wanted to be president. Another thing they never knew. He set up his political party, and when they asked him several times, are you going to be president? Yes, he was running, but he was saying deep down he doesn't want to run. He wanted his brother, Uncle Beko, to be the president. So he was already contemplating seriously to hand over to Uncle Beko, because it's a job that, first, I will never be able to play music again. And if anybody honestly wants to see to the problem of this country, I mean, it probably will take your life.
Bros, let us allow you play music.
Please.
All right. It's been nice talking to you. Thank you so very much for making our time to talk to us. Amazing. Wonderful interview. Coming up, an unusual report on a recent alien invasion of the Nigerian Senate and the abduction of a very, very important instrument. It's the other news. You are watching the other news. Gate crashing in weddings and birthdays is normal in Nigeria. However, when thugs gate crash a Senate plenary session and Mace gets abducted, well, hopefully this special report will help us make sense of the senseless.
In Africa, there are many symbols of authority. Traditional rulers have their staffs of office, and the gods are not left out. Shango has this little axe, Thor had his hammer, and Sisi has her fake lashes. Parents of stubborn children have theirs. When you come to our legislative houses on the state and federal levels, they have a very special symbol of authority. It is called the mace. The mace is such an important symbol that there can be no sitting of the House of Assembly, House of Reps or Senate without the mace being present. In Nigeria, however, the legislative mace is a lot more than a symbol. Maces in Nigeria have been kidnapped. There was this time a sitting Senate president allegedly took the mace to his hometown to avoid being impeached. Remember, if there is no mace, there cannot be a sitting of the House. And if there is no sitting of the House, there can be no impeachment. So you get the picture. Well done, guys. A senator who had been purportedly suspended from the Senate walked into the Red Chamber, accompanied by a number of unidentified men. And then suddenly, one of the men went for the mace. The chase that ensued was epic. The National Assembly complex is the seat of our nation's legislature. It is supposed to be one of the most secured buildings in our country. It is so secure that even lawmakers themselves find it difficult to get in sometimes. Yet, the men who stole the mace came in and left gingerly. The police grabbed someone, of course, but it was the man who did not run, the calm and collected senator. Some of the senators could not be bothered. Some even found it funny. Not one senator could even use common sense and set leg for men who kidnapped the mace. But then again, this is Nigeria. We have people who should not be anywhere near the seat of government walk in, grab our commonwealth, and get out clean. Many people say the men who grabbed the mace are hoodlums and thugs. But what if they're just simply politicians? The police say they have now recovered the mace. But what about our pride as a nation? That one is still missing, Abi. Like Femi Kuti will say, I'm sorry for Nigeria, oh.
Wonders shall never end. That's the other news for this week, my people. It's been wonderful bringing you the program today. You can find all our previous episodes and even some exclusive content on our social media platforms. Like, follow, and subscribe to the other news CTV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. To be part of our live audience, just call the numbers on your screen. Our people say, when you heal the leg of a person, do not be surprised when they use it to run away. Look forward to seeing you again next week. My name is Okey. See ya.